Welcome to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. My name is Garrett, and I am going to be teaching you Fashion Illustration 1. Today is going to be all about hands. So I hope you've enjoyed the feet and shoes, and now we're going to get to do some hands, and I know you're going to enjoy it. I just know it. So what I need you to do is draw along with me. This is going to be worth 10 points 2 times, and then your assignment, then you're going to ink C and D from module 1, 2, 3, and so I inked this one and I'm about to ink this one, and once it's dry I'm going to erase the pencils. So that's going to be your assignment, and we're going to learn how to do hands. Hands are fun, just like feet. I started with feet because I think feet are they're odd, but I think people think they're easier, and I think that people think that hands are harder. They're really not harder. It's just a formula, but that's why I wanted you to get some confidence with your feet. So let's go ahead. You're going to need 2 pieces of just sketch paper, and you're going to need a 9 by 12 marker paper. I'm going to change my angle of my camera, and then we are going to, no, actually I'm going to do this first. Well, okay, yes, I'm going to do this first. Okay, so do this with me. 10 jumping jacks, just kidding. Okay. So really and honestly, do this with me. Pretty please. My dad says I get my way if I say pretty please. And here's the other thing I've learned. I've done it a long time. Except I'm going to take a long off of the long because I don't want you to think I'm old. See. But anyway, do this. Stand, and sometimes I go like that and people go like this. It's okay. Nobody's in your house but you, or maybe there are people telling them get out so that you can do this. So do like this, okay? And so look at the side, it's fatter. The front, wider. So skinny, wider, skinny, wider, okay? Now think of a cowbell. I know this is old-timey and I'm not from a farm, but you know what a cowbell looks like. Just think doing, 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 doing. And so the people are like, what? I know, it's fun. Fashion's fun. Dong, 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 dong. Okay, so skinny, wider. Skinny, wider. But the fattest part is this part, right? Okay, so now what you're going to do is when you draw the cowbell, I want you to do this now. Okay, take your first finger and your thumb. I know, people are like, what? I don't know how to do that. Take your first finger and your thumb and go like this. Put the top finger on there and the thumb on the bottom, and you're going to realize that it's flat. Sometimes people think you have a circular wrist. It's not. It's called the wrist box because it's flat on the top and bottom, and now turn your wrist and it's flat on the sides. So if I'm going to do it like this way, it's flat. You can feel it flat there. I'm going to turn it like this, it's flat, okay? Pause if you have to figure that one out, because it's really important that you know that. Okay, now that you have known that, we're going to draw that. So I'm going to pause. Sometimes my computer puts something right in the middle of my face and I can't even tell if you're seeing it, but then you wind up seeing it, and then I try to pause it and then it does something else weird. But I'm going to do my best to show you how to draw that cowbell, and then we're going to keep going. Okay, this is very important. Okay, we're in action here. So, sketch paper, here you go. I want you to do this with me. Portrait. I want you to start off, think of feet, skinnier at the top, and we're going to draw the cowbell. It's going to be, but not as long as a foot, right? So now, also, for croquis, you do want your hands to be really kind of long and thin, but not as long and thin as feet. So I want to go to maybe like that. And once you learn how to do this, then you can tweak it. Okay, now this is worth 10 points. So do your best. You don't exactly know what you're doing right now, and that's okay. So I want you to do that. That's your cowbell. Okay? Now, I hope you had some perspective training. I teach observational drawing, so I would have taught you this, but if you haven't, I want you to make the cowbell in perspective. It goes, so here's a bubble move right here. skinnier here, wider here. Actually, I'm gonna make it nice and symmetrical. Here's a bubble move. No skinnier, no wider, just a big old square. Okay, now, and I said long and lean, no long and lean, it's just fat and square. Okay, so now we're gonna go up just slightly for the side right here, this side right here, that's gonna be the cowbell, that's what we're drawing right there, that line. So you're gonna go like that, make it the parallel line to this, parallel, skinny, nice and skinny, and then you're gonna come up so that this is parallel with that. This is going to be parallel with that. Okay, so that's that. That's going to be, and I think I'm going to have to lean it up a little bit more. Just, you need to look at this point and say to yourself, it's only this much in my hand. So if you're going to have a nice croaky girl, let's say, you want her to have a nice long lean look. So here's a bubble. Instead of going up, up, these 3 parallels, and then that nice and tidy, I get a straight across line, and then just a box up here. I'm like, okay, what? Anyway, okay. So now I want you to look at your cowbell that we just did, okay? And I want you to, if I put my pencil here from the first knuckle to the last pinky, see how it makes a U? So it's not a straight line. Okay, so this is not a straight line, it has to be a curve. So think formula, I'm just going to make a curve. Doesn't have to make sense to you, just do that. Okay, and then this is the bubble. Big old curve. Okay, so now you say to yourself, how many of these knuckles do I have on that side of the cowbell? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't know, count 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the middle, there's 2 on this side, and there's 2 on that side. So all you have to do is go, there's the middle, there's 2 on this side, 2 on that side. Remember when we did 1, 2, 3, half, half for the eyes? So on the curve, not the straight line, on the curve, you're going to do nice knuckles that are about the same size. What I get with bubble is any old size, they don't touch, and you see what I'm saying? These touch, they're on the curve. They're like the 1, 2, 3, half, half ovals. These, that's a big one, a little one, a little space between. Okay, do that, don't do that. Okay, so now at this point, I want you to look at your hand. Do this with me, please, pretty please. Put your thumb and your first finger on that knuckle and your wrist and go, okay, that's the measurement. Now watch this. It's the same length. Now don't do this, don't go, here we go, and, I don't get it. So measure, keep it like a little clamp, go like that, and you say to yourself, so my fingers from this curve down to the tip of my fingers, this one is as long as my whole half a hand. So that's a half, and that's a half, okay? So all you have to do is take your pencil, put it on that curvy line, start at the front of the wrist box, and go, there it is, okay? Now, move it down, make a mark with your hand, and there you see. Okay, well, what's in the middle? Okay, so here, from that knuckle again, to the first knuckle, I know you have 2, and some people are double jointed, but we don't do these knuckles down here at the bottom. We only do the middle one. So if you do like that, open your finger, and you go like that, it's the same, okay? So somewhere between that, which is the end, okay, here's the top of your hand at the wrist box. Here's the cowbell curve. So whatever that is, double it, and then find the half in the middle. So here's the bubble. I think that's half. That's it. I think that's equal. So if I go like that, that's not equal, but that's what bubble does. Okay, so we're going to do, okay, yes, that's equal with that. And then we have to find the middle between here and there. So you can either fold it, if you're unsure, you can measure it with a ruler. Okay, so you can say, okay, well that was 1 3/8, so that would be 1 1 2 3/16, so 1, yep, oh wow, we did it good. All right, so that's that, and then bubble just does any old place. Okay, so remember, that equals that. This is half of this, okay? It's like when we did the eyes at the half, and then the nose is at half of half. Think of it like that. All right, so this, do this with me. I call this the bear paw. Okay, so this is a bear paw. It's also, look at the shape, kind of a U. So you have to have a length here for your pinky and for your first finger. So you can't make this curve back to here. You have to kind of have some space, but it makes a slow U. Okay, so we're going to make a slow, nice. It's more curvy than this. See how that is? See, it's a little more curvy. So I'm going to come up a little higher, down a little lower there. So think, this is a curve. This is the bear paw U, and it needs to come, it includes the thumb. Now look, if this is here, the thumb comes higher. So if you come across and you go, okay, well that's probably even if I went to there, then you're going to have to come up higher because the thumb's higher. So just lengthen the U out and make your little bear paw U, okay? Do not touch here, do not touch here, do not touch here. This is a curve that the ovals are on for your knuckles. This is a bear paw curve. Okay, now here's what bubble does. Okay, so now look again. The thumb is higher than the pinky, and the longest finger is the middle one. Okay, so let's see, which knuckle is this? Right here. All right, so somewhere in this vicinity, because this is going to be your thumb right here. 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, middle finger. Okay, somewhere in here is the lowest place, and that's going to be your lowest place right there. Because everything else is going to make a V. Can you see the V? It goes pretty much V, a little bit of a curvy V. So again, from here to there, there's got to be some space. So don't come back to here. Give it some space for your pinky. And don't make the curve. Make kind of a line. Kind of leave a curvy line, but not the U and not a curve. It's a curvy V. Okay? And which side is the highest? The thumb. The thumb is higher, the pinky is lower. So this is the thumb side, so it's going to have to come down here more. Okay, now this might look like Edward Scissorhands a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, so this is the bubble. All right. Now, what you're going to do, nobody walks around like this, hey, what's going on, with their hands all stiff like that. So you're not going to do, okay, you're not doing that. You have, everybody bends their hands. So, see? What's up? Hey, but these are bent. That one's like even bent. Oh, I'm going to point over there, but still, all these are bent, and that one's still a little bent. Okay, you bend your fingers. So if I were going to go E, then I'd get this. Can't do that. So you have to come in slightly without it looking like, okay, so like if here's my curve with 9 knuckles, 2, 3, 3, 4, and then here's my U and here's my V. You can't go so much that you're like, and then the thumb's like, and so now you've got these weird spider, you know, octopus situation. So let's just visualize. We're going to go straight down with a tiny little line. This one should have been wider. Just straight down like that. And this is your thumb. Just do like that. These are not the lines you're going to keep, because this is the thing I get with this. Okay, and another one I get out of bubble is it's just all the fingers are the same length. So, and then the thumb's small, but a big square like that. Don't do that either. Do a straight line down, straight line, straight line, straight line. That's very light. Now you're just going to come in like 1 degree. So just even make a mark if you have to. Just teeniest little bit, straight line. Don't do like you're going to blow up a balloon. Okay. So I'm going to come in just slightly, just a teeniest little bit, just slightly. Okay, now I'm going to do it again. It has straight lines, none of this. Now we're right on the target there, see? Okay, leave that alone, and then we're going to do our thumb, 1 degree in, and 1 degree. Okay, so at this point, all you have to do is round off. Now you're going to have the soft side. And now the soft side, okay? Then we're going to go rounding it off, skinny. Rounding it off, nice and thin, skinny. And we're going to do that again here. And I'm going to turn it this way. Forget that part. Because that's going to be right here. So I'm going to leave myself a little space. Okay, now your thumb, that's the fattest part. So you're just going to go, you don't have to come all the way down here, but you can, so like I could have probably made my V higher. Again, this is something that you work with. Okay, so a little bit fatter here. And then into this part right here. Nice, huh? Okay, so now I'm looking at this upside down, and I would have to decide if it's right or wrong, but I'm trying to do this the way you would for the first time ever. So we're going to have a small curve here on the outside. Now these are your fingernails, so that can also go lower than the V. But again, same thing as the toes. You can work on those later. But that's that, and you would erase these lines so that it's not a see-through hand. And if it looks odd, I understand, because it takes time. So then you're going to have your wrist. See what I mean? And so that's how you do it. Now, when you start doing the pages of hands, what you're going to do is you'll have your let me see if I can do this. Let's see, let me get one. Well, the page is marked. So if you look at the page that has all the hands that you're going to do on your marker paper, you just have to divide this section, the U, the tips, and then as it moves and does stuff. Okay, so that is that. Now get your second piece of paper. You're going to go around your hand, because I want you to understand the anatomy of your hand. Okay, and you're going to get points for this too. Try to keep your pencil straight up and down so that you don't make your hand super duper wide. Let me get my phone. Okay. Here we go. All right, so you are going to draw this. Maybe you can see it. Okay? And what you need to do is go ahead and look online to this drawing, and don't want you to trace it, because I'd have to say bubble. I gotta make you go in and draw it in front of everybody. Don't do that bubble. So what you're gonna do is, so this is it. Okay, and you got your nice beautiful. Okay, so I want you to draw that as best you can, so you understand this is a cylinder for your wrist. And then now they have the ball there, but I would do the wrist box. Everybody has their own different way, but okay, so then lots of different ways. I want you to go ahead and do this like they do it, and then I want you to look at the support videos, because they do it another way. Something's going to work with you, okay? And that's what I want you to do, is go ahead and draw this whole thing right here. And so that's worth some points too. All right, so now let's get our marker paper and divide it up, because there is this sheet. Where is it? It's really, really nice. Can you see it now? Kind of. All right, so just scroll down until you see those. There's 11 of those. We're going to make 12 spaces, and you're going to be able to do whatever you want in the last space. Let's see. Let's do this. Ah! Okay. 3, 6, 9. Remember, don't use a fakey ruler, or if you do, you know where 3, 6, and 9 start, okay? I'm starting to see Bubble do kind of some odd measurements, so go back to Module 1, how to read the ruler. Make sure that it is exactly right. Fashion is so precise. You know, it's like if you buy something and you know what size it's supposed to be, and then you get home and it's like, well, what's that? You know, for a kid maybe, you know, or something, and then it's not good. So you gotta make sure. So again, 3 and 6. Okay, you're gonna do it in pencil first. Okay. Okay, and then you're going to ink it, let it dry before you erase. Okay, so at this point, this is going to be sheet P. This one is N. Okay, this one, no, this one's M. Sorry. So this is M, and this one is N. Okay, so N, M, and P. All right, that's for hands. All righty, and then last but not least, remember to do the inking for C and D, because so I can teach you grayscale. Okay, so do those and let them dry a lot before you erase. So use your micron pens. And just so you know, once we go teenier, we're not going to do the lips. Do them now, but one day we're not going to do lips anymore. And on the stubble, don't do much of the stubble at all. Just kind of leave it alone. I'll teach you how to do that with the marker, okay? And that's that. So let me move the camera, and then okay, there you are. Thanks for coming today. I'm so glad that you're getting quite along with this whole thing. I don't think I can talk right now. I've been drawing hands. Anyway, we're going to put all of this together pretty soon, and you're going to have a very nice portfolio to show for it. Just enjoy yourself and be nice to yourself and say, oh, wow, this was fun. Hands are fun. I like hands. Tell yourself that, no matter what, okay? I love hands. Have a great day.